and as the Assistant Head of School for Academic Affairs, it is my distinct honor to welcome you to our 2020 Honors Convocation. As we begin this evening, I would like to share a few thoughts with you about our virtual event. The best way for you to view it will be in speaker view so that you can fully see the faculty members who will be presenting awards. We're going to keep everyone muted to avoid distracting background noise, and I ask that you please do not unmute yourself. We have also disabled the chat feature so that we can focus on the live presentations by our faculty members. For the majority of students, hearing their names attached to these awards will be a surprise to them. If you wish to show appreciation for a student receiving an award, we encourage you to use the Zoom reaction feature, which allows you to show applause and appreciation for others with a small emoji. The reactions can be found along the bottom bar of your Zoom screen. Students who receive awards this evening may be the recipients of certificates or other gifts. Per tradition, we have also printed the complete list of awards and winners as part of our commencement program. Seniors, we will provide you these items when you come to campus tomorrow. For other recipients, we will mail them to you with report cards in the coming weeks. We will also find ways in the near future to share written copies of our award speeches from this evening so that students and families can keep these memories. Finally, I'd like to thank everyone to let them, finally, I want to let everyone know that we are recording this event. I thank you so much for joining us this evening. And now with the ground rules out of the way, welcome again to our Honors Convocation. Tonight is a night to celebrate a full and successful year for Elgin Academy students by noting their accomplishments in the classrooms, on the stage or in the studio, and on the fields and courts. The successes of our students have a wonderful positive impact upon our school culture, and this impact emanates to the local, regional, national, and international community. Tonight is a time to sit back and enjoy hearing about the wonderful things that happen when an engaged and able student body is inspired to become creative, courageous, and our compassionate future. We're going to celebrate these able students in style as presenters highlight the excellent qualities and superb character of this evening's honorees. The traits you will used to describe these awardees will read like a primer on how to succeed. We have much to learn from these students, and we are so excited for the chance to share these examples of fantastic students, great athletes, accomplished artists, thespians, and dedicated community servants. The group of teachers joining me will take center screen to give accounts of our students' accomplishments. You will see the pride these presenters have in the work that they honor tonight. They will read their descriptions glowingly because that is where gratification lies for these teachers. What they won't do is talk about the hard work that they have done to ensure that anything is possible for these students. They won't tout their own knowledge, passion, and desire to share. However, the significant student achievements that we celebrate tonight do not occur without firm guidance and intellectual stewardship. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank our faculty for these traits. Thank you so much, Elgin Academy faculty. I would also like to take a moment to recognize Mrs. Lau, Ms. Flugel, and Ms. Goist. They are responsible for helping to plan this wonderful event, having spent hours to ensure that our students are being honored and celebrated accordingly. Thank you for all of your efforts. Ultimately, tonight is about our students, and I would like to turn our focus to them. As I said earlier, listen closely to the carefully honed descriptions of these extraordinary intellectuals, athletes, community servants, and friends. These words demonstrate the important values which are so crucial here at Elgin Academy, in which these impressive students have demonstrated in full force. In a measurement of these important qualities, I would be happy to put our students up against any who are having similar celebrations this time of year. Tonight is a night to honor our upper school as a whole, and we must acknowledge that the leaders of that group are the 30 individuals in the senior class. This year we have been led especially well. In about 24 hours from now, the class of 2020 will be graduates. For a while now, and for a period of time tomorrow, we will celebrate the leadership you have set for us. You have made us very proud in your athletic endeavors, your academic accomplishments, and you are leaving us tomorrow to go on to places of higher learning. We know that you will make us proud, and we trust that you will challenge those other places to make them better, as you have done here. While there are many examples of your accomplishments, one of the most visible manifestations of this dedicated way you approached your college and scholarship applications. And I would like to invite Mr. Dan Rafferty to share some thoughts as our college counselor.
Good evening, everyone. The class of 2020 was a pleasure to work with on their college applications. An ambitious and hardworking group, they submitted 216 applications for a 71% admission rate. They were collectively offered over $3 million in merit scholarships. Despite the COVID situation, they were able to commit to a wonderful variety of schools. They will be attending colleges from Arizona to Wisconsin, from Nashville to New York City, from Atlanta to Annapolis, one who plans to begin college in Paris, and quite a few more who are staying a little closer to home. We look forward to hearing about their many wonderful accomplishments to come. I ask the class of 2020 to unmute themselves after I call out their name and announce the lucky colleges that they will soon be attending. So I'm going to go alphabetically, and please be ready to unmute yourselves. And if I don't hear a response in about 5 to 7 seconds, I will go ahead and announce the college myself. So we will start with Cameron Agno.
I will be going to Loyola University Chicago.
All right, Cameron. Marina Aristodemo.
I will be going to Elmhurst College in Elmhurst.
Fantastic. Jacob Atkins.
Western Michigan in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Fantastic. CJ Karani. CJ? Going once? Twice? CJ will be attending Lawrence University in Wisconsin. Pearson Gonzalez.
I'll be going to Northern Arizona University.
All right, Pearson. Ashley Gordon.
I will be going to Barrett, the Honors College at Arizona State in Tempe, Arizona.
Thank you, Ashley. Emma Hansen.
I'm also going to Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo.
Great. Thank you, Emma. Ethan Hill. Ethan, you out there? Ethan will be going to the College of Lake County in Illinois. Danielle Levine.
I'll be going to Eckerd College in St. Petersburg, Florida.
All right, Danielle. Kaelyn Lahey.
I'm going to Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee.
Fantastic. Arianna Marshawn.
I will be attending North Park University in Chicago.
All right, Ari. Ethan Moore.
I will be attending Beloit College in Wisconsin.
All right, Ethan. Ranger L. Nee.
I will be going to the University of Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Fantastic. Madison Noble Stas.
I will be going to University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign.
Fantastic, Maddie. Claire Noland.
I will be going to New York University freshman year in Paris, France.
All right, Claire. Armand Pabani.
I will be going to Illinois Institute of Technology and Midwestern University.
All right, Armand. Nia Piggies.
I'm going to Oberlin College in Oberlin, Ohio.
All right, Nia. Anthony Perez.
I'll be going to Savannah College of Art and Design in Savannah, Georgia.
Fantastic. Christopher Perez.
Also Savannah College of Art and Design in Savannah, Georgia.
All right. Ethan Plants.
I'll be going to Lawrence University with DJ in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Fantastic, Ethan. Lauren Rana.
I'll be going to Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa.
Thank you, Lauren. Carter Ray.
I'll be going to Loyola University in Chicago.
All right. Gavin Rachetti.
I'm going to Denison University in Ohio.
You're muted.
Mr.
Christian
muted.
Mr. Rafferty, you're muted.
Christian Rodriguez.
I'm going to Benedictine University in Lisle, Illinois.
Fantastic. Rafe Sammy.
I'll be attending Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas.
All right, Rafe. Elizabeth Sperina.
I will be going to Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Fantastic. Neera Suvagia.
I'll be attending New York University in New York City.
Great. Jaden Tabak.
I'll be attending the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland.
Fantastic. Ryan Ulrichs. Ryan will be going to Judson University. Dufei Ferris Wang. Ferris, you're out there. Ferris will be heading to Purdue University in Indiana. So a big hearty congratulations to the class of 2020. And now I would like to welcome Bob Kelly, Blue and Gold Officer representing the Admissions Office of the United States Naval Academy.
Good evening. Good evening. I am Bob Kelly, a Blue and Gold Officer representing the Admissions Office of the United States Naval Academy, and I have a very special scholarship to present. I am here to present Jaden Tabak an appointment to the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. This is a very competitive scholarship. There are approximately 16,000 students who initially apply for admission. Of that group, approximately 1,200 students are admitted. As you can tell, it is very competitive, and Jaden is very deserving of the honor. This is a 4-year scholarship that covers everything: tuition, room and board, books, fees, medical, and dental. Jaden will also receive monthly basic pay while at the academy. The value of this scholarship for the 4 years is in excess of $300,000. The admission process is unique and requires that each student apply for and receive a nomination, most commonly from their congressman or senator. They then must complete a thorough medical exam and successfully pass a physical fitness evaluation, in addition to the usual submission of transcripts, recommendations, and essays. Screening is thorough with a focus on well-rounded individuals that have demonstrated leadership potential and a willingness to accept responsibility, as well as outstanding academic credentials and are in excellent medical and physical condition. While at the Naval Academy, midshipmen have access to some of the country's best research facilities and the opportunity to travel virtually anywhere in the world during summer training programs. At the Academy, Jaden will have a choice of 25 majors. After completing the 4-year course of study, students receive a Bachelor of Science degree and are commissioned as officers in the United States Navy or Marine Corps, which means Jaden will have a guaranteed job upon graduation. Elgin Academy should be very proud of Jaden's achievements, and on behalf of the Superintendent of the United States Naval Academy, Vice Admiral Sean Buck, I would like to welcome Jaden to the Naval Academy class of 2024. Jaden will report to Annapolis July 1st. Normally, this is where I would present Jaden with his official appointment. Since we're doing this virtually, Jaden has already received it. Jaden, congratulations on this great achievement, and congratulations to the class of 2020. Thank you.
Good evening. It is an honor to be here among this group of distinguished young scholars and present the Excellence in English Award. When choosing the recipient of the Excellence in English Award, the English department considers a student's interest and aptitude in the study of literature, a student's proficiency in written and oral expression, and a student's mature critical thinking ability as demonstrated in literary studies. On behalf of Dr. Herring and myself, I am proud to present this year's Excellence in English Award to Kaelyn Lahey. In the classroom, Kaelyn is a force of nature, and I'm sure all her classmates know what I mean. Her writing is excellent, her analysis is keen, and her participation is nothing short of electric. Kaelyn has a great appreciation for the value of studying the way humans use language to form ideas, explore emotions, and understand the world. Language and literature allow us not just to describe the world, but also to describe the world that could be, for good or for ill, and Kaelyn has made understanding those worlds an integral part of her education. I know we all wish Kaelyn well, and I want to remind her that Vanderbilt has an excellent English department. Congratulations, Kaelyn.
Thank you so much.
Excellence in U.S. History. This award is going to Ryan Marusik. The Excellence in U.S. History Award goes to a young man who is never, and that is in all caps, bolded, never, afraid to speak his mind and ask deep, meaningful questions. He often kept me on my toes with some of the challenging questions that came to mind. Those queries often guided our class discussions. In fact, I had to pay close attention to how much time those discussions would take, as it could sometimes put second period behind seventh period in terms of content. But those questions were so meaningful because they took us deep into the substance of history. His writing is excellent, but what I most admire is his tireless thirst for knowledge, especially military history. A running theme in my A-Push class this year was early on I mentioned how my grandfather felt about a particular president who will remain nameless, although I give you a hint, he was elected to 4 terms, which led to Ryan continually asking me about how my grandfather felt about whichever president we were covering at the time. And then I would have to ask my mother whether or not my grandfather had a particular opinion about that president and get back to Ryan on it. Ryan, if you want to know more about my grandfather, you should listen to my graduation speech tomorrow. Anyway, Ryan is a true student of history, and it is my absolute pleasure to present him with the Excellence in U.S. History Award.
Thank you.
I am very proud to present the award for excellence in social studies. This year's recipient is described by her teachers as someone who is excited to grapple with complex ideas which challenge her to think differently. She consistently works hard to understand, not to pass a test question, nor to boast about her accomplishments. She's a student who wants to learn so she can learn more. She possesses the rare traits of authentic curiosity mixed with humility. In AP Psychology this year, her summaries, her notes, all her work often led with the phrase, "what I find fascinating," and then went on to ably synthesize those key concepts while making connections to previous ideas and her own life experiences. Also, her questions consistently demonstrated higher level critical thinking skills, which challenged her and her classmates, and often her teacher, to look at psychology from a variety of perspectives. These connections, these questions are how adults learn, how adults read, and ultimately interpret the world around them. Perhaps it is an oversimplification, but this student embodies the adage that interesting people are interested people. I'm very proud to present the Social Studies Award to Elizabeth Sperina.
Thank you.
Each year, Elgin Academy chooses one junior to receive the Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony Award. The University of Rochester sponsors this award for a junior who has strong grades in the humanities and social sciences, has shown leadership and dedication to community action, and has demonstrated a commitment to understanding and addressing difficult social issues. This year's recipient, Bausch Haridas, has in both English 3 and AP US History. An enthusiastic student, Bausch pays particular attention to how texts speak to the concerns of oppressed people and those who suffer from mental illness. Bausch demonstrates a commitment to the importance of conversation and community. Mrs. Cinquitmani Thomas notes that, quote, Bausch is keenly aware of being a member of a larger group, be that US Choir, the junior class, the state of Illinois, or the planet Earth. He is aware of how what he does affects those around him, and this awareness informs his kind leadership, end quote. Bausch, congratulations on being this year's recipient of the Douglass Anthony Award.
Hey.
Good evening. I am Magister Howe, the middle and upper school Latin teacher at EA. The Excellence in Latin Award goes each year to a senior Latin student who has shown dedication, distinction, consistency, and passion for the classics in their Latin career at EA. It is always difficult to select just one Latin student for this honor, and this year I wish I could have given it to all the seniors. Instead, I was allowed to choose the 2 students who set the bar highest. These Latin students have had 6 years of Latin education, and over that time have consistently produced top quality work. Whether it was building a model of Roman architecture, making Roman shields out of refrigerator boxes, or taking detailed notes on the Aeneid every night. These 2 young women never balked at the responsibility and mostly did it with a smile. Mostly. Both these women took on leadership roles at the school and state level and modeled what it is to be an excellent Latin student for others. In consideration of these qualities and abilities, this year's awards for excellence in Latin go to Ashley Gordon and Nira Suvagia. Congratulations, Ashley and Nira.
Thank you, Ms. Howe.
Thank you.
Madame Denoon will present the French award.
Bonsoir. It's my great pleasure to present for you tonight the 2 awards for excellence in French. The first award goes to Claire Noland for her amazing work this year in French AP and all the past honors she has won in the National French Contest and the French Honor Society. I also would like to honor her because she's going to Paris next year in NYU, and I wish her all the best luck. The second award is for Jaden Tabak, who is truly, truly the finest French student I have had in 46 years of teaching. And I appreciate his leadership in class and his excellent talents. Bonne chance, Claire and Jaden.
Merci, madame.
All right. The award for excellence in Spanish. Discipline, determination, and passion for learning are essential to the pursuit of excellence in any academic endeavor. However, Spanish is not just any academic endeavor. To be a truly great student of Spanish, you must be a little bit crazy as well. Armand is just the right kind of crazy. He is somewhat of a perfectionist, which it can at times get in the way of learning language. To speak in class is to run the risk of making an error, sounding awkward, or having people think that you just might be clueless. To be successful in language learning, you must constantly display how humanly imperfect you are, because until you pronounce something horribly incorrectly or accidentally swear at the teacher in class, you simply won't know you're doing it wrong. You got to lay it all out there, and Armand did so in spectacular style. He was just simply not afraid. Armand has a desire to work in the medical field. I know that his empathy, patience, and integrity will guide him on the road he is destined to travel. He will use these attributes in turn to serve others. I'm excited to hear about it all someday. Armand's future is limitless. I'm so proud to have had the opportunity to learn so much from him this year. Congratulations y buena suerte, amigo. Mommy.
Gracias, señora.
Salwete once again. This year, I have the honor to announce a second award. The Excellence in World Languages Award is not necessarily given every year and is reserved for those students who have shown zeal and skill in learning not just one language, but multiple. The student who is receiving the Excellence in World Languages Award this year has gone above and beyond what is required of her and has managed to study 2 languages simultaneously over her time at EA. She has reached the top levels of both Spanish and Latin, sitting for the AP exam in Latin after just 3 years of study. This was no minor feat, as she had to complete Latin 2 over a summer and complete a hilltop as a senior to cover the required material. This student never once wavered in her dedication to producing the highest quality work and has been an exemplary language learner. In recognition of the thousands of vocabulary words, the notebooks full of notes, and the years of work of this young woman, the Elgin Academy World Language Department presents the Excellence in World Language Award to Kaelyn Lahey. Congratulations, Kaelyn.
Thank you, Magistra.
The Laura Davidson Sears Performing Arts Award is given to a senior who has demonstrated continued excellence in and dedication to both music and theater during their time at Elgin Academy.
Jaden Tabak has been a fixture of the EA stage during his high school years, portraying a variety of roles from Peter Pan to Wadsworth and beyond. No matter the size or content of the role, he approached each one with commitment, effort, and humor. Nothing could stop him, not whatever illness he inevitably caught during every tech week, not a backstage bloody nose during an actual performance, not even being called by the wrong name on a daily basis.
Jaden, or as I sometimes refer to him, Jason, has been singing in choir since he stepped onto campus. Never one to draw attention to himself, he has been a quiet pillar of the music program here at EA throughout his upper school years. He even has his own band name, Jason and the Altos. Jaden has a great sense of humor, and his ability to laugh at himself encourages others to laugh with him and take risks of their own.
Jaden, we hope you always seek out new opportunities for performance and continue to be a lifelong singer and actor. It is our honor to present the Laura Davidson Sears Performing Arts Award to Jaden Tabak. Congratulations, Jaden.
Thank you both. Ms. Bear.
I'm here. The Excellence in Theater Award goes to a senior who has demonstrated continued commitment to and excellence in EA's theater program. My first experience directing Ethan Moore was in a summer theater camp production. I knew from middle school theater classes that he was expressive and confident on stage, but this was my first chance to see performer Ethan come to life. He was fearless, an actor unafraid to make a fool of himself in service of the show. And that willingness to go the distance for a role has continued to be a hallmark for Ethan at EA. Put on a muscle suit and play mindless brute Gaston in Beauty and the Beast, no problem. Put on a fake belly and play flatulent Sailor Elf in Peter and the Starcatcher, sign him up. How about a Santa suit with a whole lot of lower and middle school kids crawling all over him in A Christmas Story? Bring it on. No character was too ridiculous for Ethan to bring to life with his customary fun, humor, and aplomb. Ethan has also been ready to step in behind the scenes as well. He has learned how to work the lightboard beyond the basics, and honestly, he needs to teach me a few things about how it works before he leaves for college. Ethan, the theater needs performers and technicians like you who are willing to go the extra mile on stage and off to ensure that the show will succeed. It is my honor to present the Excellence in Theater Award to Ethan Moore. Congratulations, Ethan.
Thank you.
The Excellence in Music Award is given to a senior who has demonstrated continued excellence in and commitment to the music department at Elgin Academy. When I think of the initials for Elgin Academy, EA, I often think to myself that the A stands for academics, athletics, and the arts. And this year's award recipient excelled in all three. Elizabeth Sparina worked hard academically, she worked hard on the volleyball and basketball courts, and she worked hard in the music department. Liz has been involved with the music department at Elgin Academy since middle school. Her involvement began with middle school choir and the middle school musicals, including her memorable portrayal of Tweedledee in Alice in Wonderland. Or was it Tweedledum? I can never get it straight. As Liz moved into the upper school as a freshman, she joined Encore and eventually upper school choir. Liz has been remarkably committed to the success of the music program, and her musicianship has developed exponentially as a result of her unending diligence. I am so proud of the young woman she has become. Liz, it is my hope that you have become a lifelong singer and that you continue to find ways and reasons to sing. It is with great pleasure that I present the Excellence in Music Award to Miss Elizabeth Sparina.
Thank you so much.
Tonight I'm here to present the Jane Pelton Excellence in Art Award to one highly deserving individual. In the time that I have known the recipient of this award, she has constantly questioned her work and sought to find answers to her inquiries through any artistic means necessary. She experimented with mediums until she found joy in their output. She pushed herself to learn new techniques in order to have a larger repertoire of ways to express her ideas. She has tirelessly pushed the boundaries of the status quo and has invited viewers of her work to think more deeply about the truths that they accept as their own. When I think of this student's work, my mind immediately jumps to the quote by revered American dancer, choreographer, and author Twyla Tharp. Creativity is an act of defiance. You're challenging the status quo. You're questioning accepted truths and principles. You're asking three universal questions that mock conventional wisdom. Why do I have to obey the rules? Why can't I be different? Why can't I do it my way? Well, Claire, my response to these questions are, you don't, you can, and really you always have. Please continue to stay true to your vision and to continue to question up from down. Congratulations, Claire Nolan, on being the 2020 Jane Pelton Excellence in Art Award winner.
All right, I'm here to present the Frank H. Lamacher Mathematics Award, and it goes to the senior who best demonstrates enthusiasm for learning mathematics and improving their understanding. Now, some of you may find it ironic that just this morning, the recipient of this award gave a senior speech about going to college to pursue his passion in the arts, specifically film and game design. But I don't at all. In fact, I'm actually really excited because if this young man shows even a fraction of the drive and determination that he showed in my mathematics class this year, I know that he'll go on to do great things. Diligent and patient, this young man was a quiet leader in the classroom. Now, he didn't speak often, but what he did, his words carried weight and everyone listened. And I speak not only for myself, but his other math teachers when I once again recognize the hard work he has put into improving his mathematical ability, not this year, but his entire high school career. It's a shame that I only had 1 year to get to know this student, not just in a classroom setting, but outside as well, a good person and a really cool cat to be around. So I'm gonna miss teaching him, and good luck and Godspeed, Christopher Perez.
Thank you.
I am pleased to present on behalf of the Mathematics Department the Excellence in Mathematics Award to Armand Pabani. Armand has been at the forefront of our mathematics curriculum each year, culminating with his taking Calculus 2 as a class of 1 this year. I've personally had the pleasure of teaching him for 2 of his classes. While his grades have been immaculate, it is also fair to say that he has made plenty of errors along the way. To be fair, he has likely caught just as many of my mathematical errors as I have of his. Thankfully, he recognizes that taking risks and making errors is vital to being a successful mathematician. He has never been reticent to propose a new method, to venture a hypothesized solution, or to express joy at struggling with difficult concepts. He is a leader in the classroom, even when there are more students in the class beyond just him. Congratulations, Armand.
Thank you, Mr. Seth.
Each year, the science department has the honor of awarding one junior student with the Bausch and Lomb Science Award sponsored by the University of Rochester. This year's winner is Erin Kirk. Erin has a great intuitive science sense. He can distill valuable info from the most complex observation to something very simple. And his sense of humor and his real life experiences brought a richness to class. In one example, he nicknamed some microscopic creatures the boys. And when told he had to flush them down the drain when the when the lab is over, he was a little bit scarred for life by that. He developed a strange attachment to these creatures. The Kelvin cycle became the Kelvin silo, and we heard every day or two about experiences from scuba diving, pet fish, fishing. All these things really enriched our class this year. But more importantly, academically, he was just a standout in class. He was ready to go every day, prepared, helpful to his classmates, and just outstanding work all year long. For these reasons, I'm very proud to announce Erin Kirk is this year's winner of the Bausch and Lomb Award. Congratulations, Erin.
Thank you. No, say it again. Thank you. Say it louder.
Over the years, this Excellence in Science Award has been presented to one senior who, in the opinion of the Upper School Science Department, has shown the most initiative, talent, and dedication to the study of the various disciplines of the department. The winner of this award has shown true passion for all forms of science, graduating with 5 years of science credit. They are known for their enthusiasm both in and out of the classroom. As Mr. Matthew mentioned, quote, they can study like a maniac, master a complicated concept, and instantly know what they don't understand. What truly sets the student apart are their questions. There's never a time when they have been too shy or uncomfortable to ask a question, because they know not only will it help their own understanding, but the understanding of others. The learning is so important that even last year during AP Chemistry, they called into class while riding a horse in Florida. Kaelyn, Lahey, congratulations on receiving the Excellence in Science Award, and we know you will continue to ask your questions and challenge your peers at Vanderbilt next year. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Lau.
We now are presenting two Fermilab Science Awards. The first one of these is going to Armand Pabani. I'm going to tell you why he won this. I mean, if we start off, he's already in medical school. I mean, I don't know how many seniors in high school can admit to that, but that right there is pretty amazing. And he's a standout in an absolutely incredibly talented class. His intellectual capacity, his work ethic, his charitable nature will produce an amazing Dr. Pabani. He's an intellectual bulldog. He will work at something and master it completely. And it was amazing to see the confidence he could bring each and every day. He's incredibly helpful to his classmates. I make them work with every other kid in the class, and they were all great to work with, but whichever group he was in, he would bring a sense of helpfulness to that group. A great quality in a physician, I would think. His meticulous work habits provided a level of detail in his work that is remarkable. He holds himself to an incredibly high standard. I knew with Armand, I could look forward to a clear, thorough, insightful lab report, which I would honestly enjoy reading. We are all excited for Armand's future, and we know he'll do wonderful, amazing things. Congratulations, Armand.
Thank you.
Ethan Moore has tackled his science courses with a great work ethic. This year in my mathematical physics class, while he missed several consecutive weeks of school, Ethan kept up in his work, returned, and had not missed a beat. With his confidence and scientific insight, he was a leader in the class for the whole year. For his accomplishments and a job well done, Ethan Moore is co-recipient of the Fermilab Science Award. Great job, Ethan Moore.
Thank you, T.
Sorry about the dog in the background. He hasn't barked until this very moment. Okay, anyway, like the entire field of computer science, this award is a relative newcomer, at least compared to excellence in English or science. But the list of students who've won it is impressive, and this year's winners are worthy additions to the group. Like their predecessors, they are quick to understand new ideas and can apply what they know to new situations and problems. They are insatiably curious and love solving puzzles and problems. They are independent and self-motivated learners who enjoy figuring things out for themselves and never ask for help unless they really need it. And they are creative thinkers, which is critical because the really hard part of solving problems using a computer is figuring out how to solve the problems. In addition, and I'm especially happy about this one, they are also risk takers, willing to sign up for a course or a program that looked interesting, even if they don't know much about it. It gives me great pleasure to present this year's Excellence in Computer Science Award to Ethan Moore and Jaden Tabak. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Kitson. Way to go, Jaden.
Okay, guys, excuse the sound of family in the background if you hear any. It's bath time. But I would like to say 4 years ago, I arrived at Elgin Academy, a wide-eyed freshman AD, with a mission to raise the standard of excellence in the athletic department to match the standard of excellence in every department. Chief among the many individuals and groups needed to accomplish this goal were the athletes themselves. While each class did their part to support that mission, it was this very special group of wide-eyed freshmen who have truly shaped the excellent culture that is Elgin Academy Athletics. The statistics, the wins, the awards, the PAC events, the community contributions, the state walks that this class is responsible for is evidence enough of their impact. But perhaps the most telling fact for them to boast is that 7 of our 2020 graduates have signed letters of intent to play sports at the collegiate level. Now, I know we're not in person, but if we were, this would be a time where I would stop and ask everyone to help me acknowledge all of the athletes of this class. They have been phenomenal before I specify a couple special ones. All right, so it is beneath that backdrop that I had the difficult task of selecting only a few athletes to honor tonight. First thing I want to do is honor our Ironman Award winners. The recipients of the Ironman Award are the student athletes that are playing sports for the love of sports. They do not view sports as a nuisance to tolerate in the middle of their day. They are not interested in earning PE credits, statistics, or individual accolades. These student athletes simply love to compete. Moreover, they understand the importance of representing something bigger than themselves. Donning the black and orange for 3 straight seasons for all 4 years of their high school career, all while maintaining the rigorous and challenging academic and co-curricular responsibilities that Elgin Academy is committed to providing. This year's winners for 4 years of soccer, 4 years of basketball, bang bang, and 4 years of baseball, Mr. Cameron Agno. For 4 years of volleyball, 4 years of basketball, and 4 years of soccer, Miss Madison Noble Stas.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, guys. The Athlete of the Year, the recipients of the Athlete of the Year embody the 4 cornerstones of Elgin Academy Athletics. Those are sportsmanship, development, productivity, and teamwork. To win this award, one must be hardworking, dependable, coachable, and committed to excellence on and off the field of play. Although individual or team accolades certainly do not hurt, the athletic department focuses on honoring the process by which awards are achieved, in addition to accomplishing them themselves. This year's Female Athlete of the Year is a 4-year varsity player for volleyball, a 3-year varsity player for basketball, a 5-time ISL All-Conference player, a 2-time team MVP. She is the all-time leader in blocks for our volleyball program. She is the all-time leader in assists for our volleyball program. And she is the all-time leader in steals anywhere in the entire world, Miss Elizabeth Farina.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Our male athlete of the year is a 4-year varsity soccer player, a 4-year varsity basketball player, a 4-year varsity baseball player, a recipient of our Ironman award, a 3-time ISL Conference Player of the Year, a 2-time MVP, and an absolute leader by example, Mr. Cameron Agnew.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you. Each year, the Elgin Hall of Fame presents a scholarship award winner, and there's someone else that we need to honor. To do that, I'd like to share my screen with you guys. So if you give me 1 second, we'll get that going for you.
For the Board of Directors, we wish the graduates the very best in all of their future endeavors. During this pandemic crisis, please stay well, stay safe, and stay strong. Over the past 39 years, our organization has awarded over $635,000 in scholarships to student athletes. This year, due to the generosity of our donors, we are able to award 28 $1,700 scholarships to high school seniors who go to a school in Elgin or live in Elgin but attend a school outside of Elgin. Also, we award 2 $1,700 scholarships to Elgin Community College students who are moving on to a 4-year school. That is a total of 30 scholarships worth $51,000.
Hello, my name is Mark Scharf. I presently serve on the board of directors for the Elgin Sports Hall of Fame. As we've done for over 30 years, we'll be presenting a scholarship to one individual that is attending Elgin Academy. This individual that's going to receive the $1,700 award this year has played baseball for 4 years, has been on the All-State team in 2018, All-Area, and the team MVP, as well as being an All-Conference representative from 2016, 2017, and 2018. In the fall, he will be attending Benedictine. The winner of that $1,700 scholarship this year is Christian Rodriguez.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, that concludes my presentation. I appreciate all of you seniors. I can't wait to see you guys this weekend.
The President's Education Awards Program has been in existence for many years and recognizes students in their senior year. This award is given in all schools across the country, and the recipients share similar academic traits with peers around the United States. Each year, the President sponsors 2 awards, one for academic excellence and one for academic achievement. The awards come with certificates as well as a letter from the President. The Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence follows strict guidelines that include a grade point average over 3.5 and high standardized test scores. 1/3 of the class of 2020 achieved this high mark. Congratulations to those 10 students: Cameron Agnew, Ashley Gordon, Kaelyn Lahey, Claire Noland, Armand Pabani, Christopher Perez, Rafe Sami, Elizabeth Sparina, Nira Subagia, and Jaden Tabak. The Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement recognizes students not eligible for the previous award who show outstanding educational growth, improvement, commitment, and intellectual development throughout their range of studies. This can also be awarded for a particular area of interest and excellence. The following 8 students were selected by the upper school faculty for this honor. For each honoree, I will share a few words from the faculty regarding their selection. First, CJ Karani. CJ is a student who is consistently engaged and curious about our topics. He works hard to understand, cares about doing quality work, and really thinks about the subject matter. He simply never gives up. Arianna Marshawn. Ari's teachers praise her passion and enthusiasm and recognize how much she has grown as a student. One has to only listen to her senior speech to realize how much she has overcome to get where she's at. Ethan Moore. Ethan has experienced some medical setbacks that he discussed in his senior speech. However, during his senior year, he's overcome physical adversity, taken charge of his learning, and is back to being the confident young man we first knew. Ranger Nee. Ranger is delightful to have in class as he is enthusiastic and engaged. He also has a passion for art that he plans to use as he pursues a degree in architecture. Madison Noble Stas. Maddie has shown a lot of academic growth since she first began at Elgin Academy in the 9th grade. Her teachers praise her for her good work and her inquisitive nature. Anthony Perez. Anthony comes to class every day ready to learn. He puts a lot of care into every project he completes, including his hilltop tracksuit design and creation. Ethan Plants. Ethan has developed as a student year after year, discovering the most effective way to use his energy and his skills. He is a hardworking student who is poised for success in college. And finally, Christian Rodriguez. Christian is a dedicated student who has demonstrated tremendous growth since his 9th grade year. He has an infectious positive determination in all that he does. Congratulations to the 8 recipients of the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement. Each year, a number of Elgin Academy students take advanced placement exams through the College Board. That organization recognizes students who have the distinction of earning a score of 3 or better out of 5 on 3 or more AP examinations. Seniors are eligible for this distinction based on the scores of tests that they took during their 10th and 11th grade years. This year, we are honored that 9 members of the class of 2020 earned such recognition. Ashley Gordon, Danielle Levine, Christopher Perez, Rafe Sami, and Nira Suvagia were saluted as AP scholars for earning grades of 3 or higher on 3 or more tests. Kaelyn Lahey, Ethan Moore, and Jaden Tabak were named AP scholars with honor for an average score of 3.25 on all AP exams taken, including scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more exams. Finally, congratulations to Armand Pabani for earning recognition as an AP Scholar with distinction for earning an average score of 3.5 on all of his exams, as well as scores of 3 or higher on 5 exams. These seniors, as well as more of their peers, could receive further recognition for their AP exam performance once the current year's tests are assessed and reported in mid-July. Congratulations to all of our AP scholars. The Illinois Student Assistance Commission recognizes students for outstanding achievement on college entrance standardized tests. These students rank in the top 10% of the approximately 140,000 high school graduating seniors in Illinois each year. This award is determined by GPA and high test scores as earned by the completion of junior year. This year, 6 members of our senior class were recognized as Illinois State Scholars. These students are Kaelyn Lahey, Ethan Moore, Armand Pabani, Christopher Perez, Nira Suvagia, and Jaden Tabak. Congratulations to our Illinois State Scholars. Each year, the Sons of the American Revolution sponsors an award to recognize outstanding citizenship. This award recognizes a senior who demonstrates dependability, honesty, courtesy, respect, leadership, and patriotism. It will perhaps be no surprise to anyone that the faculty have chosen to honor Jaden Tabak with the Sons of the American Revolution Award this year. Not only has he been a leader at Elgin Academy in the classroom, on the stage, and on the track, but he has chosen to serve our country as he becomes a midshipman at the United States Naval Academy this summer. Congratulations, Jaden.
Thank you.
One key exception to the many awards chosen by the EA faculty for our graduating students is the Old Main Award. which is given by the elected student leaders of athletic council and student council, to the graduate who, in their eyes, has done the most for the school. For 4 years of being a leader inside and outside of the classroom, for working hard to organize the school and provide creative student events, and for not squandering the Old Man Award, and a big thank you goes to Neera Suvagia.
Thank you, T.
Okay, so the first recipient of the Excellence in Community Service Award has been a dedicated leader of the PADS Club this year and a committed member of the club throughout her time at Elgin Academy. She helped me get the club back up and running again this year and was always there when I needed to hold a last-minute meeting or when I was sending 5 a.m. texts. As a PAC leader, you could always count on this student to be cheering at the late game and then wake up at 4:30 the next morning to serve breakfast at PADS. She always knew how to make the group smile at the crack of dawn, and the PADS Club will miss her at Baker Hill next year. When our soccer season went virtual, this tremendous athlete was rightfully disappointed and hurt. But when we came together to try and turn it into something positive, this student led the way and went to Zoom class meetings and sent emails and got our community excited about helping PADS when they needed it the most, which helped us raise over $1,000 worth of supplies for PADS during this pandemic. I know you will continue to use your voice to make a positive impact in Urbana-Champaign. Thank you for your dedication to service throughout your years at Elgin Academy. Congratulations, Madison Noble Stas.
Thank you so much, Ms. Clemens.
Thank you.
Our second winner of this award is from Soup Kitchen, and this is going to go to Jake Atkins. Jake has been our leader for 2 years. This year he was especially vigilant, attending nearly 100% of our sessions. Jake was our chief recruiter, successfully organizing and transporting student volunteers for each of our sessions. The Soup Kitchen is run by the First Congregational Church of Elgin, and the event consists of organizing, serving, and cleanup of a dinner for local patrons, many of whom are homeless. Jake showed great leadership at the dinner. He would mentor the new volunteers and in general help with the organization of the meal. The church staff got to know Jake and looked forward to his presence. He was great with the patrons as well, initiating conversations with many of them. His presence at Soup Kitchen truly made this an enriching experience for all. And for these reasons, Jake is also receiving Excellence in Community Service. Congratulations, Jake.
Thanks, Mr. Matthew.
Okay, so now I'm going to present 5 awards that are all related to colleges that we present in conjunction with 5 colleges. And so we will begin with the Dartmouth College Book Award. To be eligible for this, a student must rank in the top 10% of the class, be of strong character, have made a positive impact on the life of the school community, excel in at least one non-academic area, show outstanding leadership skills, demonstrate proficiency in a foreign language, and be a realistic candidate for admission to a college or university of the highest caliber. The recipient of this award is Erin Kirk. This young man has established himself as a true leader in the Elgin Academy community, both in and out of the classroom. He is a staple of our theater program with lead roles in plays and musicals throughout his time at EA. Erin is involved in numerous volunteer endeavors, including PADS, Outreach 360 service trips, and many more outside of Elgin Academy. He is an excellent student in general and has certainly distinguished himself in a variety of courses. Mr. Matthew mentioned that Erin helped foster a spirit of cooperation in AP Biology. This is something you can see with Erin in his classes and in any endeavor he pursues. A true team mentality. A team where Erin is often the leader, but one who facilitates instead of dictates and leads by example. Much like General George S. Patton once said, always do what you ask of those you command. Those words apply directly to the kind of student leader that Erin Kirk is. It is my pleasure to present him with the Dartmouth Book Award.
Thank you very much.
I figured you'd appreciate the World War II reference.
Yeah.
Next, the St. John's College Book Award. We are looking for that student who loves to read, who always has one more question, and who has an insatiable intellectual curiosity about humankind and the world around us. So St. John's College is my grad school alma mater, and a college that is near and dear to my heart. It focuses on books, writing, and good intellectual conversations. Kayla Alfaro is the recipient of this award. Having an insatiable intellectual curiosity about humankind and the world around us is an excellent way to describe Kayla. She is a true citizen of the world who has done a wonderful job of bringing her international and multicultural experiences into the classroom and the EA community in general. I highly value the worldly perspective that Kayla brought to my APUSH class. While she has made many substantial contributions to our class discussions, one that stood out to me was Kayla discussing colorism in the Latino community. I don't think this is a concept that many of our students are familiar with, and I appreciate that she brought it up in class. I admire that she is more than willing to discuss difficult topics both in class and personally. Keep pushing those difficult topics into the public forum, Kayla. We will all be better off for it. It is my privilege to present this award to Kayla Alfaro. Kayla is in Puerto Rico right now, and they're having some inclement weather, so I don't know that she was able to attend. Next up, the St. Lawrence Book Award. In recognition of the value that the St. Lawrence community places on service to others, the St. Lawrence Book Award honors high school juniors who have distinguished themselves in their communities by their significant commitment to community service. Samuel Nathan Bassa. Samuel is a young man with a variety of interests: martial arts, basketball, conservation, and videography, amongst others. In addition to those, he has made considerable time to give back to both the local community and folks abroad as well. He initiated a program to teach basketball skills to local elementary school students through the Boys and Girls Club. He has been a consistent participant in the Outreach 360 service trips to the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. Samuel truly gives of himself and exemplifies true generosity of spirit. And this clearly runs in the family because his brother Daniel got this award a few years ago. It is my honor to present this award to Samuel Bassa.
Thank you, Mr. Rafferty.
You're welcome, Sammy. The George Eastman Young Leaders Award. This award goes to a student with strong leadership experience at school and in the community, high grades in challenging courses, and extensive involvement in extracurricular activities. The recipient is Harim Rauf. Here are some words that I wrote in Harim's advisor letter earlier this year. As always, Harim continues to be a pillar of the Elgin Academy community, in my advisory and at the school in general. I greatly value her presence and her willingness to help others. I don't think there's another student at EA who asks me how my day is going as much as Harim does. She is obviously a tremendously caring person, and we are a better school for having her here. Dr. Herring used a wonderful word to describe Harim's work ethic: assiduous. It's a great word, assiduous. This applies to her excellent academic performance, but also to her participation and leadership in numerous co-curricular endeavors, such as being a student ambassador, tutoring younger students, involvement in Model UN, prom committee, and writing excellent articles for the Cupola. She is truly an asset to our community and highly deserving of the George Eastman Young Leaders Award. It is my privilege to present this to my advisee, Harim.
Thank you.
Welcome, Harim. And last but not least, the Brandeis University Award. The Brandeis University Book Award is presented for a commitment to civic engagement, community service, political activism, social justice, or volunteer work. This award goes to Vaunch. Vaunch, I apologize. I'm actually going to recycle some of the same words that were said about you earlier, but I think that they resonate powerfully for both the awards that you earned. Vaunch has considerable empathy and concern for people. This is evident through his comments in class discussions in APUSH, the causes that he champions, such as SAFE and the Environmental Club. He is an advocate for social justice and obviously a wonderful friend to many. He is willing to speak up and address the tough issues. I would like to quote Ms. Sinkelmani Thomas, who had these wonderful words about Bausch. Bausch is keenly aware of being a member of a larger group, be that U.S. Choir, the junior class, the state of Illinois, or planet Earth. He is aware of how what he does affects those around him, and this awareness informs his kind leadership and his conscious expression of appreciation and gratitude. It is my privilege to present this award to Bausch.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Bausch.
Cum Laude Society is the high school analog of Phi Beta Kappa. Its mission is to recognize academic achievement in secondary schools. The Elgin Academy chapter is the oldest in Illinois and the 26th oldest among all 382 chapters worldwide. Mr. Hanford is our chapter president, and I'm the secretary. The presidential Mr. Hanford. In accordance with the Society's rules, we induct the top 20% of each year's senior class. 10% as juniors and another 10% as seniors. Senior inductees receive a certificate, a pin, and a booklet with information about the Society. Juniors receive the certificate and the booklet when they are elected and the pin the following year. First, I would like to recognize this year's junior inductees. Vansh Haridas, Erin Kirk, Harim Rauf, and Reese Zantz. Then, this year's new senior inductees, Christopher Perez, Rafe Sami, and Nira Suvagia. And finally, the seniors who were elected last year as juniors, Kaelyn Lahey, Armand Pabani, and Jaden Tabak. Congratulations to all of you.
Woohoo! Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Seth Hanford. I'm head of school here at the Academy. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. And I'm not sure Mr. Kidston knows what comes next, but it's a tradition here at our honors convocation to salute members of the faculty, rather, who have served the Academy and its students and families for milestone years. This is the culmination of Jim Kidston's 40th year at EA, and this is the second longest tenure in Elgin Academy's history. He is known for saying that he basically stumbled into teaching for a one-year stint and that he reevaluates each year. As an avid runner, I'm always slightly amused by the concept of Jim stumbling into anything, but that's another story. In any case, Jim, you can stop evaluating each year now. It appears to be working. Jim Kidston does not have the typical background for a computer science teacher and technology director. In addition to being born long before a computer fit anywhere except in a gigantic room, Jim has a fascinating academic background that could make him a poster child for a liberal arts education and the true value of learning to learn and following one's passions. He was an English literature major at Michigan, where he studied Chaucer, who, when Jim received his degree, was considered a contemporary author. He received a certificate of business administration from Keller School of Management, and presumably, unlike most computer science teachers, spent some time selling sports equipment and writing short stories, including science fiction. He then was an insurance analyst, and I can only presume that he felt stifled by the corporate world, which led him to earning both a master's in library science and a master's of business administration from the University of Chicago. Somehow, having exhausted all other potential careers and degrees, Mr. Kidston decided to apply for teaching jobs. The placement agency sent his resume to Elgin Academy, and a career was born. Jim Kidston has as defined a teaching philosophy as I have ever heard. All teachers have them, whether they articulate them or not, and Jim has always been very firm in his. I'm going to paraphrase it here since I can't get the wording exact, but it's essentially that as a teacher, he wants to make himself unnecessary. That is admirable. He means, as I have always interpreted it, that he wants to push each of his students to learn on their own, to be independent, to have learned from him how to solve their problems on their own. This is the very definition of great education. With that in mind, and all of the respect that should be accorded to one of the decreasing number of people on this campus who are older than I am, I can confidently say that Jim, as per your philosophy, you have been unnecessary for 40 years and counting. In writing a reference for Jim to be considered as the Kane County Teacher of the Year last year, I said, I think Jim's style is notable because I have not often seen someone who is so committed to a student-centered style. Jim's classes take the form of true student experiences because there are a group of people learning together. He includes himself in this group with a sincerity that I have not often witnessed. Students are encouraged to try things, to fix their mistakes, to ask questions of each other, and to experiment. Jim guides that process by employing sensible parameters and pointed advice where necessary. But the student learning happens in its truest form. Jim's job references are 40 years old now, so I suppose I can quote from them without compromising anything at this point. They were remarkably prescient. Jim Kidston was described as, quote, highly intelligent, adaptable to new ideas, and able to think through difficult conceptual problems. The same reference also described him as an excellent instructor who was able to, quote, get his ideas across effectively. Another referee for whom he also obviously served as a teaching assistant noted he was one of the best TAs his professor had ever had in his decade plus of teaching. He knew how to help without doing work for students while still being one of the best liked of the TAs. Jim Kidston is as much all of those things as he was 40 years ago. During his career, he has taught and coached many things, all with this same main goal. Whether it was coaching someone in running or basketball, teaching them math, or helping them navigate computer science, Jim wanted to make sure that students gain not only the basic skills, but also the confidence to take the next steps on their own. It's not hard to see, both from these recommendations and from his work with countless students, where his philosophy comes from. Jim is a person who has a remarkable sense of what it means to learn, how the goal of teaching is to help others gain independence so that what you are helping them learn is not the last thing they learn, but rather the first foundational piece of knowledge that grows to be a solid, permanent structure on which true understanding is built. Jim Kidston is the intellectual and in some ways physical backbone of our computer infrastructure and of our computer science program. While he works hard to leverage outside help in the form of coursework and local experts to improve his own skills, he is largely self-taught. It is not an age joke to say that when Jim began teaching at Elgin Academy did not have a computer program. But when it came time to add something that would become a cornerstone, something that required a person willing to jump into the unknown to learn, I can only imagine that Jim was the obvious choice. For 40 years, he has been an exemplar of lifelong learning, a cornerstone of what we believe at EA. He cares about students, working hard to get to know them, caring about their well-being, and supporting them in and out of the classroom. His tenure would indicate that he no longer needs to volunteer to plan a freshman seminar, but Jim does. He doesn't at this point need to meet with students over the summer for no reason other than a dedication to them and a desire to help them pursue their passions, but Jim does. No one would criticize him because he has commuted over 35 miles each way for almost his entire tenure if he missed one play or didn't go to a big basketball game, but he never misses anything. Jim has stood for what this place is, has been a solid model for his colleagues of what it means to be student-centered, and has taught us all what it means to be an interested and interesting academic for his entire career. Thank you for all you have taught all of us for the last 40 years. Thank you for always stretching us to be better, whether it was through a small conversation that led us to a realization or a big challenging class that led us to a new understanding. Thank you on behalf of 40 years of Elgin Academy students, faculty, staff, parents, alums, friends, and others for deciding to give teaching a try for a year in 1980. And thank you for doing that 39 more times. I am honored to speak on behalf of countless others who have benefited from your wisdom, spirit, care, intelligence, wit, and just plain goodness for all of those years. Our place would not be the same without you. It will be my distinct pleasure the next time I see Jim Kidston in person to present him with his 40-year service award and recognition of his many varied and, yes, abundantly necessary contributions to Elgin Academy. Thank you, Mr. Kidston.
Thank you, Seth, and everyone. The next 40 will be even better, I promise.
Each year, Elgin Academy takes pride in recognizing the 2 students who have earned the highest grade point averages in this year's seniors class. Obviously, it's not easy to separate oneself from this auspicious class, and these 2 students should be exceedingly proud of their accomplishments. As you can tell from the awards presented this evening, this class has an extraordinary number of accomplished students, people who are smart, curious, driven, and demanding, and distancing oneself from this group is no small feat. It is my pleasure to first introduce the class of 2020 salutatorian, Armand Pabani. Both our community and the academic world outside of Elgin Academy have recognized Armand for his focus on challenging himself and consistently mastering his goals. Even a truncated list of his accomplishments is impressive. Armand earned a 4.11 grade point average while taking the school's top courses in mathematics, science, Spanish, and computer science, among other challenging classes. He has earned the School Excellence Awards in Spanish, the School Excellence Award in Mathematics, the Fermilab Science Award, the Presidential Award for Outstanding Academic Excellence, and the Brandeis University Book Award. He holds membership in the National Honor Society, the Spanish National Honor Society, and the Cum Laude Society. He is an Advanced Placement Scholar with distinction and an Illinois State Scholar. Congratulations, Armand, for earning this outstanding accolade. We look forward to hearing you speak at tomorrow night's commencement ceremony as the Class of 2020 salutatorian.
Thank you.
This event usually takes till about 9:30, so I figure I have about an hour and 10 minutes, and that ought to get me halfway through. It's always a distinct pleasure for me to celebrate our school's valedictorian, and in doing this, we participate in a universal academic tradition, and it's very important for us to do so. This year's valedictorian is Kaelyn Lahey. No one can remember someone graduating with a 4.26 GPA, an unmatched accomplishment that means she received more A+ than anything else. These remarkable grades that include 2 semesters where she received nothing but A+, have been achieved in our always challenging curriculum and has featured an impressive array on honors and AP courses in multiple disciplines. These academic exploits have led to induction into an honor roll of honor societies, including the National Spanish Honor Society, the National Honor Society, and the Cum Laude Society, all of which she was inducted to at the earliest possible times. She is an Illinois State Scholar because of the combination of her excellent test scores and grades, and she earned the Dartmouth Book Award last year. Her teachers have recognized in her laudable characteristics that we would all do well to model. She has truly supplemented her incredible ability with tremendous habits of mind. She has been described as serious, focused, and determined, and they note her deep curiosity about the world around her. Her work, in the words of one of her teachers, is mature and sophisticated. Most notable is her questioning, the truest sign of someone who not only wants to learn for the sake of grades, but rather as someone who covets true and deep understanding. The result is someone who asks probing questions, listens to the answers, and authentically cares about her own work and that of others in a humble and engaged manner. While I will have more to say about her when introducing her prior to her speech tomorrow night, suffice it to say that Kaelyn Lahey is a remarkable student, person, and friend. She has even been called a force of nature tonight, and that is something I've not often heard about students. Almost too good to be true, one might say. To that I say, not so fast. I have found the flaw and am prepared to expose it right here on Zoom and hope that this will be recorded for posterity. And no, Kaelyn, I am too disciplined a mind to be thrown off course by the diversion you threw out the other day in your senior speech. Some concocted story about looking at one spelling word in your backpack in 4th grade and supposedly breaking down in tears. One of those stories that is supposedly revealing but just makes you admire the person even more because they have some sort of gold-plate conscience. I'm not fooled. Here is an example of your fatal flaw. In your 2nd semester in upper school, your GPA dropped precipitously. The incomprehensible lack of concentration and complete inattention to excellence led to you posting, as a 9th grader, during a semester in which you were only on campus about half the time because you were pursuing your equestrian ambitions, a humongous drop of 0.02. Your GPA therefore went from a 4.25 to a pedestrian, at best, 4.23. The result of a paltry 4 A+ rather than 5, as was your average for the rest of your career. I will say tonight for the first time publicly that we debated expelling you for fear of your negative influence on your classmates. We had to assess the risk to our historic school of allowing someone to have the first ever case, in fact, the world's first documented case, of freshmanitis. We decided to keep you, but you will never know how close the vote was. Kaelyn, I will have more to say tomorrow in introducing you at commencement, so for now, suffice it to say how thankful I am on behalf of this 180-plus-year-old school, and to say how much we have enjoyed learning with you, having you challenge us, and bringing all of us into your interesting world. We are better for it and can't wait to hear what your future holds. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to present the 2020 Elgin Academy Valedictorian, Kaelyn Lahey.
Thank you so much. And thank you for keeping me for the next 3 years. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was against my better judgment. So.
Well, congratulations to all of our award recipients this evening. As we have discussed, you have many accomplishments of which you should be proud. However, I also encourage the class of 2020 to also be proud of all the ways that they have contributed to our school in ways that are not defined by tangible awards. While a sense of accomplishment should come from being recognized, I encourage all of you to look for ways to make an impact on your college campuses and in your classes, as well as in any future community of which you are a member. Remember to do good, because it's what you should expect of yourself, regardless of whether it is recognized by others. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I look forward to seeing our seniors and their families tomorrow when they come to campus, and I hope to see all of you tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. for our virtual commencement ceremony. Good night.